Well, the recipe that we've had has been to have some ball control, and at times we did. But we had two that were in the third quarter, I believe it was, where we went, three and out or a fumble, an interception, put our defense in a bad situation. Then we came back that last drive, and the recipe was really working. That's what got us here, and we just didn't end up finishing. You always wish you had some other calls and you would have called something else when you went back, but I was proud of their effort and everything. We just got to get, as Coach talked about, more detailed, and they came back today and had a fantastic practice. I'm fired up. Can't wait.
How did Jeff and Garrett specifically bounce back after those mistakes?
Short-term memories. We had almost identical situations, and they executed them perfect. And that goes back to the focus. You do it in practice, you do it in the game, and so that was really good to see.
Any reason that the drop passes have kind of come back up the last couple of games when it seemed like you all moved
Focus,
past that?
focus, edge and focus, and that's what Coach talked about. Coach was right, and so they had it today.
In watching Butch Jones's press conference, he was asked several times about the Wildcat offense. Is it a challenge for you guys to keep changing things up and giving people new looks out of that Wildcat offense now that a lot of teams know that that's going to be run against them?
Absolutely. I think as you keep going, you have to keep changing, and you have to add some wrinkles to it. And by the end of the day, they can only do so much to it, and we can only do so much to it. So it goes both ways. It goes down to executing too, and making sure that you're on the right guys.
You talked about focus. At this point in the year, is that kind of coming with fatigue and maybe being in a spot they're not used to being in?
But that's what Coach Stoops has preached from the get-go. We had longer two-a-days. We got stronger, and I think we've been stronger with the guys that we're playing. We're playing a lot of guys, and I think we are, at a really good point right now, and it comes down to, in this grind, it's the mental part. You got to eliminate the clutter. You got to focus, and it's hard to do. And that's our challenge as coaches, but it's also their challenge. You look at the NFL and you look at a 16-week season. You look at their four preseason games, and when you're a pro, that's how you got to do. You got to act like a pro, and you've got to get your body right every week, and you've got to do all the little things to help you get to the 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, and 13th game. So I think we just got to focus better. That's at the end of the day, have that edge and focus. I think they played hard. I think but you can't will something. You have to go take it. And so that's what we've got to get back to, and that's what we've done. In some of those games we've made some mistakes, and we overcame them. This time we didn't, and we had our opportunity. That's what's frustrating.
What are the biggest challenges facing Tennessee's defense?
They're really good. They're really athletic. They do a great job on defense. But you see the guys up front. They've got Barnett's a great pass rusher, and so are the other ones are too. And I think they're athletic at the linebacker position, and so it'll be a great challenge for us. Number one, being on the road again, and then a really good football team.
I feel like you're getting any closer to being able to use JoJo again.
Yes, absolutely. Had a really good practice today, and he's in the third week of that, and today he looked as good as he's looked, since he had that on him.
Is he able to take snaps out of the Wildcat with that hand?
Yes, yeah, that was my biggest concern, and watching him do that, and all the other things that you have to do, so that was good.
Like you mentioned earlier, sometimes calls you'd like to have back or second guess yourself when you look at the video. On that last set of downs when you got first and goal at the 9, what would you have done differently? Is there one play out of those 3 you wish you could have back, or do you think you had the right play called and they just did a good job defensively?
That's what got us there. They did a nice job defensively, and I think we didn't have them on the field enough where our recipe has been, they've been tired then, and I don't think they were. I think they were still going with some energy, and we just didn't get it done. Where we've been doing that, we've gotten into the fourth quarter, and we've been able to take balls at that particular point, and we've been able to punch them in. In the last play, I guess you can second guess every call that you make. I had about 15 of them that after I watched it, I wish I'd have called. you know. But if that would have worked, it would have been fantastic. But that's part of it. But yeah, you live and learn there too, as a play caller.
Do you do anything different with Benny as he gets more and more carries and has been that pretty heavy load in his first year just to handle all that and withstand that kind of?
Just kind of a couple weeks ago, y'all asked me, you know, keep your thumb on him and make sure you stay humble. And, you know, that's a great thing about that room, you know. They all want the ball, but, you know, we talked about being selfless, and I think Boom's handled it well. I think Benny's handled it well. I think JoJo's handled it well. Saeem, you know, it's been rough on him, but he's got a role in special teams, and he's been doing a really good job. And I know that if Saeem ever has to come in, he's going to be ready. That's my job to get him ready, and I think he's handled that well. But that's going to be a part of it. But I think they've been really, really good. I think you see it on the sideline with them as they're together, and you know they're encouraging each other. Whether it's JoJo, whether it's Boom, or whether it's Benny.
You said miscommunication and lack of communication played a role in the loss on Saturday. What have you been doing to try and move over that?
Well, it's kind of crazy because I don't know if you get up too much for a game and you get it got too big, you know, for just a little bit. But we made some communication errors that we have not been making, and so you know we just talked about it and said what's going on, you know, and so obviously today that was a huge emphasis on talking, and they were loud, and they were, especially down there, you're gonna have to be loud, and communication's gonna be huge in everything that we do in that environment. So, and you know, we went to Alabama, and I thought the communication there was really good. The execution wasn't so good, but the communication was, so they know they can do it.
Speaking of going down there, you spent some time there. Is this game any different for you going back to Navy?
You know, just to see some good friends, some good people there. Spent one really good year there, and there's some really good folks, and so that'll be fun to see some of those guys on the sideline.
Yesterday, Stoops said he thought Luke Wright had really improved throughout the season. Have you seen that too?
He really has. Luke is, you know, being that he knew this offense, and he has really stepped it up. He's pulling the trigger a lot faster, and you can see the confidence in him and the confidence that our players have in him.
Everybody good? When you see the defense is giving up 191 yards per game rushing, how does that change your game plan, especially with two backs like Benny and Boom?
You know, I don't look at very many statistics. I guess just because I do look at the turnovers, how they're getting turnovers, what they're doing, who the person is, tackles for loss, who's the guy making sacks, and those guys making tackles, because those guys can be game wreckers. But how much that's all going to depend on us, you know. I think you've got to be balanced. I think you've got to be able to do both, and I think we're going to have to be balanced this week.
Thanks.